Welcome back to another one of Nathan Bell's commentary videos. We are heading towards the 100 mark. Please like and subscribe. And Nate is going to talk to you today about scams.
Well, I've had a lot of these scams lately. It's amazing how many of these scams I'm getting. Every day I'm getting these fake profiles adding me, these profiles impersonating other people on my friends list, and it's these people who want to talk to you, and it's always at the end of the day about getting money out of you, and it's happening every bloody day. I'm getting, one or two of these a day, several a week. I'll just take you through a couple of the scams that have targeted me recently that I was almost convinced by. One guy with a very convincing profile contacted me and told me he was from Universal Music Group and that he'd listened to my music and he wanted to offer me a record contract. And he had a very convincing profile with pictures of him at what appeared to be Universal Music Group's office and photos of him at the gym at Universal Music Group. I actually asked him, which song did you like that you had heard, and he said he liked Hooray for the Weekend. So it was definitely a real person, and he had actually viewed some of my music, and he wanted me to provide him with passport details so that he could book me a flight over to California to sign a record deal. So I figure it was an identity theft scam, and he was very persistent and very pushy and kept insisting that he was real and that he wasn't a scam. And I don't know why he thinks I'm so gullible that I would fall for this. I certainly wouldn't fall for this, but I actually for a moment there got excited because I put so much music and content out into the world that it wouldn't surprise me if at some stage I got approached with a record deal, because I've got some pretty good quality music and I'm a good songwriter and a lot of people are talking about me. So some part of me expects that it's a possibility that I might get offered a contract, and this guy even had a fake ID, a fake Universal Music Group's Talent Scout ID, which he sent me a photo of. It was just so elaborate. One of the other scams I've been getting a lot is these. I get a lot of these people who tell you they want to buy your art as NFTs, and I knew that was a scam immediately. So I don't know. I haven't pursued that to see how the scam works. But one of the other scams I get is these people who say they want you to do commission artworks. I've had a couple of these people ask me if I can do commission artworks, and at first, because I put so much content out there and I'm well known on social media, I thought, maybe somebody does want to pay me to do a commission artwork, because I know artists who do commission artworks around town. There's many artists who do commission artworks, but what I've realised is this is a scam as well, and I'm getting a lot of them. And I had this woman approach me and she said she wanted me to do a picture of her child's pet, and she was willing to pay me $300 up front. And I said to her, because at the time I thought, this woman is genuine, she wants me to do a commission artwork for her. I said, I'll do the artwork, then you can pay me. And I thought, this is a scam. I said, well, you can pay me up front now so I know you're legit. Then what she does is she asks you to, she says she can only make payment through PayPal, and then she says she sent you the money on PayPal, and then she says, it didn't work because I have a business account, and you need to do something to make it work. Can you check your spam email? I check my spam email, and there's this email from this fake address, this fake PayPal address, which says, in order to receive this $300 payment, you have to send $500 to this account, then it will be reimbursed to you. It's this runaround scam. It's just ridiculous. And so I've been getting a lot of these scams lately, and there's a lot of these scams that I've realised now that are targeting artists and musicians and telling them that they have record deals or that they can do contract work, and it's all over social media, and it's just a constant thing. And of course I get scam phone calls and all that all the time too, but they're obvious and I don't know how anyone falls for them. But some of these scams targeting artists are really elaborate and really conniving, and it's amazing because I realise, there's whole populations of people, and this is how they make a living. And I've got no hatred, because I reckon a lot of these people are in living in countries where there's no work and where everyone's in poverty, and this is how they get by scamming Westerners. So, you know, I'm not surprised that what else are they supposed to do? I think, you know, the prevalence of scams comes down to how much desperation there is in the world. You know, we can't just come out and attack people as being immoral criminals. You know, there's so much desperation in the world. There are so many people with no other means other than theft and criminal behaviour to make a living and to get by and to feed their families. But it just astounds me how many of these scammers are operating, because it's every day I'm getting this, and it's just constant. And I imagine they must be scamming lots of people over and over and over again. So, you know, I think a lot of it's coming from countries where there's no work, and there's a lot of these people who just work this way constantly. They're just constantly scamming people online. But yeah, like I said, I don't have any hatred or anger towards people. I think a lot of these people are just trying to make some money to survive. I also think there's some scammers who make millions of dollars off it, and they're quite psychopathic and don't care who they hurt. But I think, you know, my view is, in general, a lot of crime is the result of desperation and need. So yeah, so it's been going on a lot lately, so I just wanted to give you a little talk about some of the scams that have been contacting me and how frustrating I find it. I find myself, because the thing is, like, you don't know, and I'm quite popular around Hunt Valley, so I expect people to add me, you know, I expect people to add me on Facebook, and some of the profiles are so convincing. You know, they've got really personal photos that they've stolen off people, really consistent photos. They look like real people. They have fake posts to make it look like they're real people, and they engage you in conversation, and they'll talk to you for, you know, a day or two before they'll initiate the scam. And I'm always amazed that people actually fall for these scams, because some of them are quite obvious, but, you know, some people just don't know any better, or some people are whimsical. It's like you offer them a record deal, they think it's legitimate. Like, imagine if this guy had tried to book me flights and I'd gone to the airport and there was no plane, and I would have realised my identity had been stolen. I imagine someone's fallen from it. I wrote to a current affair to try and get them to do a story on it, but they didn't respond. But there's such prevalence of it now, and particularly all these people taking people's profile pictures and photos off their profiles and setting up fake accounts. That's happening a lot. And this woman who wanted me to do a commission artwork, like, she had photos of her children, she had photos of her in the house, you know, and she spoke to me at length, and she was, you know, so it's this ongoing thing. But yeah, just a quick spiel about some of the scams that have targeted me and how frustrating I find it. It just reminds me that, you know, so much of life on this planet and in this universe is just brutal survival. And, you know, there are always threats. There are threats to safety and there are threats to security. And that's because people in the world are desperate and they are surviving and they are cutthroat, and they will do what they have to do. Because, you know, people aren't going to sit there and starve. And that's what I've always said about stealing. It's like, should you go to jail for stealing a loaf of bread to feed your family? No, because people shouldn't be expected just to sit there and starve. You know, some people have to resort to crime, and I think a lot of these scammers are in a position where this is the only thing they can do to make some money, to feed their families and to survive. And I can't imagine they make a lot of money, because I can't imagine many people actually fall for these scams. Some of them are so obvious. So drop a comment in the comment section about what you think about scams and what scams have targeted you, and have a good day, guys.